Hi, everyone. I'm Benita Perkins with Benny Girl Healthy Lifestyle, Branding, and Communication. And today's webinar is brought to you by Durham County Public Health, moving to the action phase of the weight loss journey. It's a subject I think that a lot of folks have gone through. You start your exercise or you start your weight loss journey, and then something sidetracks you and all is lost. So today we're going to talk about that. It kind of jives in with what Healthy Heritage is all about, focusing on healthy lifestyle targeted to women of color to deal with the health disparities that we endure. So anyway, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. And hopefully you can see this in slideshow presentation. Moving to the action phase of the weight loss journey. For many, the goal of losing weight is like a merry-go-round. It starts with intentional behavior changes, which include dieting or eating less calories, getting on the treadmill. But at some point, behaviors resort back to pre-efforts, and any good that was done is undone, and many times we fall further down the hole. In a few months, the cycle starts again. How do you get off of the merry-go-round? Well, that has a lot to do with your mindset because losing weight and or getting healthy is one of the biggest mind-body exercises you will ever engage in. Success is determined by where you are in something called the trans-theoretical model of change. This concept was developed by two psychologists in 1970. Move this out the way, hold on. There we go. This concept was developed by two psychologists in 1970 and appears to hold true today. The mind dictates the will to change, and there are 6 distinct phases to this model of change journey. The fact that you are attending this webinar means you are at least at stage 2. And these are the stages of change: pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, maintenance and relapse prevention, and the final stage, which isn't on here, termination. Sorry guys, I had to take a little swig of water. So let's go through the first phase, pre-contemplation. People at this stage usually have no intention of changing their behavior and typically deny even having a problem. Although their families, friends, neighbors, doctors, or coworkers can quite clearly see the problem, the typical pre-contemplator cannot. They resist change and are often demoralized and don't want to think about their problem because they feel the situation is hopeless, or maybe they just don't think they have a problem. Pre-contemplators can take comfort in recognizing that demoralization is a natural feeling that accompanies this stage, and in realizing that if you take yourself systematically through all the stages of change, you can change. If you know someone in this phase, what you want to do is provide consistent awareness and education and promote change. The next phase is contemplation. I want to stop feeling so stuck. These simple words are typical of contemplators. In this stage, people acknowledge that they have a problem and they start thinking about solving it. Contemplators struggle sometimes to understand their problem, see its causes, but they begin to wonder about possible solutions. However, while people in the stage may have plans to make changes, they are often not ready to take action. Many people remain in this stage for years. And sorry about the image with the watermark. I didn't see that. If you're in this stage, you want to start identifying barriers to making changes. Is it lack of locations to exercise? Is it an illness that may be getting in the way of your ability to move? Um, Medication, that can be a barrier a lot of times. Resources, do you not have the resources for workout gear, like sneakers? Maybe you have a lack of nutrition and eating information. Sometimes naysayers get in the way. Look for support. The next phase is the preparation stage. Most people in the prep stage are planning to make changes within the next month. Many times that motivation is brought on by issues like illness. Maybe you have hypertension and you want to control it. Maybe you want to be there for a loved one, or maybe it's a revenge body you're looking for. An important first step is to make the intention public. Although those in the preparation stage are committed to action and may appear ready to move, they may not have necessarily resolved their ambivalence of their ability to make this happen. They still may need to convince themselves that this is the next step. The response in this stage, this last minute resolution is necessary. People who cut the prep stage short lower their chances of success. It is important to develop a firm, detailed scheme for action to carry you through. Some examples of barriers to consider when you're prepping in this stage and ways to work around it. Where will you work out? When will you work out? What workouts will you do? If there's a scheduling conflict to your workout, how will you resolve it? What if it's raining or bad weather and you plan to work outside? What are you going to do? How are you going to work with that issue? What does your food shopping list look like? What meals will you be preparing? What restaurants or menu items are off limits? And how do you identify realistic goals and timelines? This is a really important stage. Before you even start doing anything, you need to think about how you will deal with obstacles, changes in things that are happening that are out of your control, but you still have to adhere to the process. Very important stage. The next stage, action. The action stage is the focus of this webinar. The mind-body engagement has begun through overt behavior modification. You've done things like clean out unhealthy food from the house, join the gym, quit smoking. In short, preparation has turned into action. Action is the most obviously busy period, and the one that requires the biggest commitment of time and energy. Changes made during the action stage are more visible to others than those made during any other stage. For instance, by pulling everything out of your fridge and freezer, you're able to take inventory of the healthy foods you already have on hand and those that are not so healthy that maybe it's time to toss out. What action items can you identify in your journey? One of the responses to consider, seek reinforcement. For instance, you need to get the family on board for meal or schedule changes. You're going to start maybe bringing healthier, different foods into the house, and you got kids. How do you prepare them, or how do you work around that? You want to, you're now scheduling gym time or workout time. Now maybe your schedule changes in terms of how you handle your household. So you need to get the support and reinforcement of the people around you to make this happen. The next stage, maintenance and relapse prevention. The maintenance stage is the hardest stage. You consolidate the gains you made in the action stage and work to prevent relapses. This stage is a long, ongoing, and critically important process. We all know someone who lost a lot of pounds, when they were beginning their process, but then regained them all back in a few months. Successful maintenance requires active alertness and consider it a 6 to 8 month journey. This stage, again, 6 to 8 months to successfully complete, requires encouragement and continued support. The days when you're like, oh, I know I got to go to the gym. I know, you're still going to have those days, even though you've gone through, your prep. You still have to keep the mental peace in place, and that's encouragement and support. The last stage, termination. Termination is the ultimate goal. Here, your former behaviors of overeating or, not eating, the right kinds of foods or, missing workouts, those kinds of problems will no longer present themselves or are threats. You will not need to make any further efforts and will exit out the cycle of change. This is generally identified by the ability to maintain your behavior changes for 8 to 12 months. So you're going to continue these behavior changes. You've been able to maintain them, the eating modifications that you've made, the workout modifications, the making it to the gym, the finding the ways to get, action in and do the things that maybe you weren't doing before. You have been able to maintain that lifestyle for 8 to 12 months, and it has most probably become part of who you are now. Think of where you are in this journey. Do you recognize your current stage? Once you're in the action stage, which is where we're talking about in this webinar, here are some activities to consider. Hiking. I know here in the Triangle, which is the Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill area, there are lots of trails to walk. So hopefully wherever you're watching from, you can find out some healthy trails in your area, or maybe walking, uh, walking routes. I don't have on hand, I wish I did, but there is a website and an app you can go on that gives you walking trails if you put in your zip code or walking routes. So maybe I think that's really a good thing to do. Check out local areas for fun, interesting hiking trails. Hiking firms and tones the major muscle groups in your thighs, calves, and buttocks. And the hills and uneven terrain add intensity, which accelerates fat burning. In addition, sorry about it. In addition, spending time in the outside can have a calming effect, helping to ease stress. Stand-up paddling, something I've been trying to do for a while now, and I will eventually get to it. The paddling motion strengthens the upper body muscles and is especially good at targeting the abdominal core. In terms of the mind, the regular swapping of paddling sides reduces the physical intensity and makes it a more relaxing workout. Whether you are on a lake or an ocean, take in the scenery and feel your worries melt away. Hold on one second. Swimming. Swimming improves cardiovascular fitness and all over muscle tone without impact on the joints. Include fast laps and intervals to maximize fat burning. In terms of mind benefits, the rhythmic movement and focus on breathing can be quite hypnotic, helping to drown out stressful thoughts. Exercise and water can also trigger a unique feeling of refreshment and vitality afterwards. Gardening. Gardening provides a light form of activity that develops muscular strength and cardiovascular fitness. Perform each gardening task vigorously to maximize fat burning. And here you're squatting to, and digging dirt and using your arms to dig the dirt in your hands. And then you're standing back up and going back down. It's just a lot of muscle work involved in gardening. In terms of the mind, gardening has a calming effect, which helps to relieve tension and distract your mind of other worries. The exposure to fresh air and natural sunlight can also elevate your mood. You can almost think of it as ecotherapy. Cycling, oops. Cycling provides a gentle on your joints activity that tones your thighs, calves, and buttocks while burning fat. Duration and intensity can be adjusted to suit all ages and fitness levels. In terms of the mind benefit, the rhythmic movement can distract your mind from cares or worries while you take in more sights and scenery than virtually any other type of exercise. Tennis. Tennis is a fun social activity. The unique lateral movements target the inner and outer thighs more than most other activities. In terms of mind, it's a great stress reliever. Smashing that little green ball all around the court offers a good outlet for any pent up frustration or anger. Yoga. It's a diverse series of movements and poses that are designed to stretch and strengthen the whole body. Look for yoga classes that focus more on stretching to boost flexibility. In terms of the mind, the movements in yoga are slow, calm, and controlled. It is the ultimate mind body exercise with the focus on breathing and posture, giving it a meditative quality. Tai Chi. It's a form of martial arts where actions are performed in slow, controlled movements. Let's call it slow motion. Gently working the body through its full range of motion, Tai Chi is good for strength, flexibility, and circulation. In terms of the mind, the inner focus on deep breathing, balance, form, and movement makes Tai Chi world renowned for its calming influence on the mind. And lastly, resistance training. Using various forms of resistance like body weights, dumbbells, or your own body is the best way to develop muscular strength, power, and tone. It's also great for flexibility and fat burning. In terms of the mind, a stronger body and improved energy levels may help to improve general self-esteem and physical self-awareness. The last word is missing there. Addressing the stages of readiness for making the weight loss journey connects the mind to the body. Let me say that again. Addressing the stages of readiness for making that weight loss journey connects the mind to the body. Never forget that it is a team effort. Continue that connection as you approach changing or adjusting lifestyle habits to bring you through the journey. Prepare yourself for your low points when you feel you're too tired to exercise or lack the willpower to turn away a second helping of food. Get your responses ready and stick to them. As you power through that long maintenance stage, it will get easier to make lifestyle decisions that will become habit and will eventually become who you are. So, everyone, thank you so much for joining in. I hope um, this information was helpful. Like I said, this was done earlier, the actual webinar. I'm recording it to post. And if you have any questions, I should have posted it. And let me see if I can put it somewhere. No, I don't think I can. But if you're at this webinar, you're probably either on the website, on my website, or on YouTube. And that those sites do have information on how to reach me. Benita at bennygirl.com, BENITA at bennygirl.com. Yeah, that's probably the best way. And if you have any questions, please reach out. And I look forward to seeing you at the next webinar. Bye bye.